What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. And you know, one of my favorite things to do is talk to entrepreneurs. And then on top of that, a woman entrepreneur. And then on top of that, a Black woman entrepreneur. We have April Showers here with us.
Hey.
The founder and CEO of Afro Unicorn.
Thank you, Angela, for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
And if you're watching, you can see my little cute Afro Unicorn sitting on top of the mic. You can see your always fierce Afro Unicorn apparel and also the books. Okay, so I want to talk about, before we even get into how you've become this multi-hyphenate with a brand that is in all large department stores, including Walmart, by the way, that was the first call?
That was the first call.
That was the first call, was Walmart, which is a huge first call. But before we do that, I want to talk about the power of manifestation, because you knew from a young age that this was what you wanted to do.
Well, from a young age, I knew I was going to be a boss. Mm-hmm. I never even played with unicorns, knew about a unicorn, none of that. A friend kept referring to me as a unicorn because I have multiple businesses, and I'm a single mother of two amazing young Black boys, and he kept calling me a unicorn. And I said, well, why do you keep referring to me as a unicorn? He said, well, because you're running your businesses, you're raising your boys. I'm a woman. He was like, no, you do it at an extraordinary level. You are, in fact, a unicorn. All my life, I've always thought I was going to be a boss. My cousins sitting over there have always said I was bossy. I was just misinterpreted. I'm a boss. So I did. I put a lot of thought into, once I got that idea of Afro Unicorn, because there was no unicorn that looked like me. I kept using that emoji in our phone. And one day I was like, why is it only white? Like, who determined that unicorns were only supposed to be white?
They don't even exist. Well, they do, but, you know.
Yep.
I don't want to ruin anyone's dreams. Yes, they do. Okay, go ahead.
So then I couldn't find one. So instead of complaining about it, I wanted to be the change that I wanted to see, and that is why I created Afro Unicorn. But yeah, you're right. I do manifest pretty big. So when I thought of the idea and thought about what it was going to be, I knew it was going to be big and it was going to be a household name. So I saw the end. I didn't see all the details, and that's part of how you manifest. It's like you want to see what that end looks like. And then once you speak that into the universe, everything will start coming together. And that's literally how it all started to come together for me.
And I think about even like, okay, Halle Bailey playing the Little Mermaid, and how people were like, that Little Mermaid is white. Why can't the Little Mermaid that is a fictional story be a Black mermaid? You know, just like an Afro unicorn. Why can't a unicorn represent us? You know, and I think unicorn, yes, has always been used as a term of like one out of like a million, something that is rare, unique, and hard to find. And so what was instilled in you at an early age for you to know that you were going to be a boss? Because sometimes a lot of us can have imposter syndrome. Some of us cannot even see that. Some of us are trained to think that we'll just be working as an employee. And there's nothing wrong with being an employee, but sometimes that is the mindset. The mindset is not always, one day I'm going to be a boss and have my own business.
I had really great parents who allowed me to speak freely, who kept me into performing arts. So I always had like a light shine on me a lot of the times. But it was also the environments that they took me to, especially my mother. So I'm born and raised in South Central Los Angeles, 89th and Western. But my mom would literally take me outside of the hood. Like, we'll go just to eat in Beverly Hills or go to a shop in Rolling Hills. Like, we would just venture out. So my parents were both state workers. Because people always like, oh, did you come from a household of entrepreneurs? No. But I saw the lifestyles outside of the inner city, and I realized that those 9-to-5 jobs was not going to be able to give me the lifestyle that I wanted. So I focused my whole life on the lifestyle, the area that I wanted to live in, the being able to freely travel when I wanted to travel. And those lifestyle goals is what has always driven me to focus on the end result, which is how I'm in this place right now.
And when we talk about now the details that get you to that end result, right? Knowing that you were starting this Afro Unicorn brand, what were the steps that you took that even had Walmart knocking on your door?
So the very first step is always trademark, you guys. If you have an idea, if you have a thought, you got to get it copywritten, trademark, patent, whatever that might be. So I didn't know all the details, but I knew that one. I knew that this was going to be a household name. So like, first thing I have to do is secure it. I built the brand to sell the brand. I had no idea that I'll be able to be in the C-suite with Afro Unicorn being where it is today. I knew it was going to be as big. Like, I saw the end of it being big, but I thought I would have to sell it to somebody to get it there.
Okay.
Walmart introduced me to the world of licensing, and that's how I'm able to have 500 different SKUs and over 20,000 doors nationwide, and I don't have a warehouse for fulfillment.
All right, now talk to us about the difference between, because some people do, and a lot of people who have successfully created different brands have started a brand in order to sell it, like you said. But what is the difference now for people who are listening between selling your brand but just licensing it? Like, how does that work?
Okay, so for me, I still own 100% Afro Unicorn.
100%, which is huge.
100% controlled, operated by. But I built the brand to sell the brand because I didn't know about this world. And it's all about information that we do not have. So basically, for me, every business that you build, you should be building it to sell.
Okay.
Because there's just certain aspects of the business, if you're building it to sell it, that will attract other opportunities to you.
Right, so you want to have a strong valuation. So the way
Yes.
that you're building your business so that somebody would want to buy it because it's so valuable and brings in money. So you're building it in a way that even if you didn't sell it, which you didn't have to, it still has a great attraction and value, right?
Exactly. And make sure you have an accountant.
That is so important, because let me tell you, a lot of businesses end up not working out because of the management of the funds. We've seen it happen time and time again, and then once that starts snowballing, it's hard to get out of it.
Exactly.
And your credit is important. When you have creditors knocking on your door and reporting you, it makes it a lot more difficult.
So that's what I mean by building it to sell. Those principles. It's not always just I'm building this dope brand. No, but what's the backside? Like, is your money in order? Is your credit in order?
Are you paying the employees above the table like you're supposed to be? So if you're trying to franchise a business or, like you said, sell it, are the books straight?
Right. Because if not, there's no conversation to be had.
Right. Okay, I get that.
So we could talk about licensing if you...
Yeah, now let's talk about licensing.
So I like to... give people the idea of licensing. I always compare it to an infamous interview. But before I do that, understand I'm the first Black woman to have a licensed brand character in major retail. And what that means is that my direct competitors are like Disney, Marvel, and Nick. When you go into these stores, you will see Afro Unicorn next to all of the Disney characters, all of the Marvel characters. That is the position that I hold.
Okay.
That's
I need some applause right there. Okay. All right, go ahead.
So there was this infamous interview a while ago with Sway and Kanye.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
I think we all know.
And I was able to really put it in context after I got into this field. But, everyone knows he's telling Sway, you don't have the answers, And he's like, I can't get my products like the Calvin Kleins are doing, like the Ralph Laurens are doing of the world, and no one's sharing this information with me. And Sway was like, well, you're a millionaire, just go build your own warehouse, produce your own product. He was like, you ain't got the answers. I lost $27 million trying to do it that way. You don't have the answers. And then fast forward 6 years later, he does a licensing deal with Adidas. We could argue if it was a good or a bad deal, but he did a licensing deal and became a billionaire.
Right.
And as he was saying, the information was not being given to him at that time. The licensing world is a very small knit community. I spent a lot of time in New York because most of them are here. But it's very small. And if you don't know someone in licensing, you probably won't ever discover licensing. So I'm tasked, now that I'm in it, to be able to learn it, to go find others and pull them, because there's a better way to do it. There's a way where you don't have to lose all this capital.
How did it work for you?
It's working great.
No, I mean, how did you get...
how did I get into
it?
Walmart. So Walmart called me, they emailed me and asked me would I consider doing like party supplies with them. And then they introduced me to my first two licensees.
Now, what had you been doing prior to that Walmart wanted to do that with you?
So just building my brand, my e-commerce brand, Shopify, on Instagram.
Shout out to Shopify.
Yes.
Coffee Uplifts people. We got a pop-up shop in there too. Okay.
I love Shopify. But I built a community. It's very important when you build a brand that you build a community with that brand. So from day one, I was like, I'm building a movement. So Afro Unicorn, because I was being referred to as a unicorn for being a serial entrepreneur, I still now launched this brand. I'm going to highlight other entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So from day one, anybody would rock my shirt. I would post them and saying, hey, check out Angela Yee rocking our Afro Unicorn shirt. But be sure you stop by and support Coffee Uplifts people and follow her and patronize her business because this is what makes her unique, divine, and magical. So people saw that. They were like, oh, if I just rock a shirt, she's going to talk about me and my business.
Right.
And I did. So we got the likes of Very On, Tiffany Haddish, Alicia Keys, Sherry Shepherd. All of them saw what we were building, and they just gravitated to it and jumped up on it. So with their audience, it just started spreading like wildflowers. And I would just support businesses every Saturday. I still do. I'm up at 6 o'clock every morning sharing y'all businesses for free in my stories on AfroUnicorn_official. So one little girl, Cassie Brianna, she's a Brooklyn native. She was wearing an Afro Unicorn tee, taking her photos, and somebody walked by her and said, I love your hair. With all the confidence in the world, she said, thank you, it's an afro. And that video went viral from Viola Davis sharing it, Tina Knowles sharing it, and then Oprah shared it, and that's when Walmart saw it. And then they reached out.
That is amazing. I love that. Now, let me ask you this. Being that you were building your brand with the intention of selling it, did you feel like that would create some backlash? Because I feel like a lot of times in our community, people grow an affinity towards a brand. And then if that brand sells, and we've seen it happen on several occasions, then there's the, how dare you sell a company? Because I think people also don't understand the value. And if you did decide to do that, sometimes people can look at you like you backstab them after I've been supporting you all this time and now you went and sold your company.
I see both sides of it. Look, I said from day one, I'm building Afro Unicorn to sell Afro Unicorn, right? But the Lord saw another way, and now I'm so into this. I will not be removed from this brand.
Isn't that crazy? It's like your baby now. But in the beginning, you were trying to make sure that you
building legacy.
Yeah,
that was it. But now it's like I want a real brand of representation. So it also depends on the type of product. So to me, it makes zero sense that someone that is not Black would be behind Afro Unicorn.
Right. Oh, man.
But when it comes to like hair products and body products and coffee and anything that's a commodity, if y'all could build it to sell it, and it can take you to another level where you can build more and
invest more,
invest more and help more people and employ more people in your community, I'm all for it.
We can't have Afro Unicorn owned by some white person. That would be awful.
That would be. That would be.
And now I also want to talk about the goal of Afro Unicorn as far as, because you talked about the Afro, right? This is an Afro. Normalizing Black beauty, because that is one of your goals. So let's talk about that and some more inspirational stories that you've gotten since you started Afro Unicorn.
So normalizing Black beauty, for me, I always say Afro Unicorn is here to normalize Black beauty to help our Black and brown girls love the skin that they're in and embrace the crowns on their head. And what I mean by normalizing Black beauty is that we've never questioned, can we rock Cinderella or Snow White? We've had this European standard of beauty in this world for forever, and we just have rocked it because it's been what we've had. And they're also beautiful characters. So Afro Unicorn is going to be that beautiful. So we're people that are not Black and brown, and they do. Trust me, I'm not in these major retailers because it's just Black people buying it. Everyone loves Afro Unicorn, and it's helping to normalize Black beauty, because we're now seeing it just being a beautiful, character, just beautiful, and not so, I have to approach you differently. Right. Oh, you're going to be aggressive. Oh, you're going to be this or that. Like all the negative stereotypes that come with just being Black and brown. I'm trying to help normalize that to say, no, you can see us just as you see everyone else. So that is the goal for me. And then also the brand itself is just helping and empowering women, especially little girls, to love their natural hair, their skin color. Like some of them are like now, like I gotta have an afro. Like they want to just rock real afros, and it's called Afro Unicorn, but it's really because we are all have that Afro descent,
Right.
not necessarily the hair texture.
Afrocentric.
Yeah, just Afrocentric, but yeah, these little girls are like, I need you to pick my hair out. I don't want you to straighten my hair no more. And I love that because that wasn't a thing. And I remember I was being interviewed by somebody by Shopify, and she was from somewhere, I think in like West Africa, and she said that she put it on pause. She was like, April, you are doing this for the little girl who just wanted to wear her hair in their natural state.
Mm-hmm.
She said she had to shave her head off because they kept telling her hair wasn't fixed.
Right. No, I just think about all the things we go through as kids. We were trying to flat iron our hair, straighten it, and then the texture of your hair ends up changing. You end up burning your hair. That smell of burning hair, burning your scalp when you go and try to go to the hair salon and blow it out. And it's so hot. Yep. It's so uncomfortable. It's the worst thing. And it took a long time, honestly, for me to get my texture back in my hair because I used to straighten my hair all the time. I actually had a straightener in my hair. I had to grow the whole thing out and start over again just to be able to get my natural hair back. You know, which
it's not a bad thing. I mean, the thing is we could rock our hair however we choose to rock it.
We can, but
it's good to be able to embrace and know that.
I think it's about the standards of beauty, though, is more what it is, right? Even if you think about the Crown Act and how we had to have a Crown Act so that people could wear their natural hair. Even when you look at news reporters, right, there was a time when you had to have your hair straightened, no matter, what your hair texture was. If your hair wasn't stick straight and done on TV, they would not allow that. You wouldn't see cornrows. You wouldn't see any of those things for...
And I've always thought that was absolutely ridiculous. When I first heard of the Crown Act, shout out to California because it did start there. I couldn't even believe that was on the books. I wish it would tell me how I could wear my hair to work.
Yeah, even in school. Imagine these young kids that go to school and you're not allowed to have dreadlocks. You're not allowed to have braids in your hair. You're not allowed to have your hair this way.
There's a story right now, I believe, in Texas with that young man, and it just infuriates.
It was too long. They said his braids were too long or something like that. His dreads were too long.
Infuriates me.
Yeah.
It's just a way of trying to control us.
And I want to talk about how you expanded the brand. So when you went into Walmart, what did you have first?
So we launched in May of 2022 in one category, which is party supplies.
Okay.
Followed by apparel. Now we're in 19 different categories at Walmart.
Sheesh. We can't go down to Island Walmart without seeing your products.
Y'all can go to fruit snacks right now. Go to the fruit snacks
aisle. I got some fruit snacks right here.
Grab the Afro Unicorn fruit snacks, but everything from bandages to a new hair care line we just dropped, magical tresses. I put you some edge control in there.
Okay, thank you. You're trying to tell me something. I'm going to get it.
I should have given you the curl cream too, but that was a lot to pack. But anyways, I'll get you some curl cream.
No, I appreciate it. Like, I'm going to support, so you don't have to. I definitely like to make sure that even when people are, we get gifted a lot of things here, but I do like to buy and support too, as you do. So I want to get to that because National Coffee Day is coming up, and we are partnering up for that.
Yep, I'm very excited. My heart is to help enough people get to where they want to be, and in return, I will get to where I need to be, and my life is evident of that. Every opportunity that I have, every door, I always say that I've never been qualified for, but I think it's because of all the seeds that I've planted into other people and other businesses that has blessed the Afro Unicorn business. So, yep, we are partnering with Black-owned, female-owned coffee shops around the nation where we are crafting Afro Unicorn coffees for National Coffee Day, where we're giving it out FREE 99.
Gratis. Yes, that's right. We're going to be giving away free Afro Unicorn coffees at Coffee Uplifts People, and that's happening on Friday from 8 to 10, right? Is that right? From 8 to 10.
Well, it's the first 50.
The first 50 people. So relax. If you get there and it's 9:40, but you're 51, you may not make it the cuts. Just and one per person, right? One per person. Okay.
Like,
you got to specify sometimes.
I know.
You know how?
I guess, one per person. But, they can buy it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And I might be feeling a little special when I pull up on Friday. So we may extend it. I'm actually going to extend it. We're going to do,
like,
we're
already
going
know.
to 100
Don't tell
cups.
anybody.
No, we're doing 100. We're going to do 100.
Yay.
We're going to do 100.
No, that's so exciting. And I really appreciate it because you actually came to me with this idea to partner. So you are about what you say you are. So I appreciate you so much for that and for my Afro Unicorn gifts and for everybody out there, you know, for your kids, for yourself. Afro Unicorn is just an amazing brand, what you've been able to do and create. And it hasn't even been that long. But for you to have gotten in the space that you've gotten into, it does feel like, you know, it is something that is, I don't even know the right word to
magical.
use for that. There you go. You're a unicorn.
It's magical.
It's magical and you're a unicorn. April Showers, how can people find you if they want to contact you or see what else you have going on?
So directly on Instagram, it's Got April Showers, like Got Milk, G-O-T, April Showers, Afro Unicorn _official. And please, y'all, support it in Target, Walmart, all the major stores. I'm competing against the big dogs that have billion-dollar marketing budgets and movies and TV shows.
Which is probably coming,
it's
right?
coming. It is.
I feel like that's the next natural thing that's happening.
We are definitely working on it. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm the first, but I don't want to be the only one. But I need y'all help to go out there and buy the stuff so that we can bring other brands on the shelves. So.
I can attest to that because, you know, for me, even having my coffee in Target now, it's not easy to get in, but what's really not easy is to stay in. So once you get there, you have to sell for people, for the people at Target to see the value that you have and to restock it.
Yep.
And once you are not in there anymore, it's hard to get back in, you know, damn near impossible. So it is important that we support each other. We support these brands on the shelf. So make sure you support Afro Unicorn. You know, don't hesitate to order some coffee uplifts people from Target too.
Tell them where they can find your coffee.
Yes, if you go to Target, you can order it online. And right now, we're in stores in D.C. and Philly and New Jersey and in New York. So.
Okay, it's the perfect Christmas gift. Mm-hmm. So y'all stock up now. Just
you see,
go
I have
ahead.
it in here every day. When I tell you, this whole entire iHeart up here in New York comes in here like, can you make me a coffee? Like I'm a barista on demand. But it's okay. I love it.
Yeah, but we have to support our own. We have to support Black businesses if we want them to stay on the shelves.
And that means being intentional. When it's time to buy a gift, when you're, you know, looking for things, when you're buying kids gifts, this is the perfect thing to purchase. Why not? It's our own, represents us, and I love the story behind it and support. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, April Showers, for coming through. Got April Showers. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.